very overwhelming. And if you feel like, wow, the thought of getting homemade meals on the table for my family is so overwhelming, I do not even know where to begin. This is the chat for you. Good afternoon. It's me back again, Taylor. This is like the third time I've done this intro because I'm not sure if my camera is recording properly. I'm also not sure if you can hear me properly. I can hear my dog barking outside, which is unfortunate because I'm hoping that she doesn't wake my daughter up from her nap. If you know what that's like. Whoops. Anywho, I'm just here thinking about cooking from scratch, and I have a couple of thoughts I want to share because I feel like cooking from scratch, I don't know if you can relate to this, but for me, at times it can be very overwhelming. And if you feel like, wow, the thought of getting homemade meals on the table for my family is so overwhelming, I do not even know where to begin. This is the chat for you because I have a couple of thoughts on this subject, and I really think that we are misled by so many different things. I don't even know, the perfection in our own head, the idea of perfection that we have, or things that we see on the internet or cookbooks or whatever it might be, or restaurants that we go to. I think that we have this idea of what cooking from scratch should be. And then there's this like other part of it where this is what cooking from scratch can actually be in a good way. And it's much more simple than we might think that it is. And that is my first thought. I think that we overcomplicate cooking from scratch like crazy. Like these extravagant printed out menu plans and meal prepping for like 12 hours a week and all of these different things. I've tried to do multiple different, versions of cooking from scratch, and I have just found the more simple or the simpler, more simple, simpler, I don't know which one, I can make things, the much more easily I can get from scratch food on the table. Like if I simplify my kitchen, simplify my ingredients, simplify my shopping trips, and I get a few recipes that I feel super comfortable with, and then I kind of start switching things out from there. It's so simple. It's so easy. I don't rotate through an incredible amount of recipes, and I've cooked them so often that I just know them. Like I know the basis of the recipes, and I can switch things out from there, or kind of like manipulate things to fit the ingredients, to use the ingredients that I have on hand, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just feel like things can be so much more simple than we are making them, than I am making them for myself at times. So I just feel like it would change the game for so many moms out there, especially who have tons of little kids who think they have to make these extravagant, beautiful meals, which is fun to do at times. But just keep it simple. Carrots, onions, potatoes, good cuts of meat, a slow cooker. You could do shepherd's pie on repeat every week or pizza every week. If you have a few meals that you know your family likes, you do not need to be rotating out brand new meals constantly. That's just my opinion. And it keeps it so simple, and it keeps your grocery budget so simple as well. I do find that instead of needing constant different recipes, having a good system in place for how you're running your kitchen is the number one thing that will keep you from cooking from scratch instead of going out to get takeout that evening. If you have meat thawed out in your fridge, or an abundance of eggs at all times, if you have easily accessible frozen vegetables or frozen fruit, or you have a pancake mix that you keep on your counter that you made from scratch that you need 1 cup of that and 4 eggs, and you scoop some protein powder in there, you could do a quick breakfast for dinner. It's having these systems in place that allow you to cook from scratch without the mental load of thinking about cooking from scratch. So instead of the mental load of planning all of these recipes and then going grocery shopping for all of these recipes, you go to the grocery store, You buy what's on sale, you buy what fits your budget, and then you manipulate your recipes or what you're going to be cooking around that. And keeping those systems in place in your home where you're just refreshing your refrigerator. You know that you like to make sauerkraut once a month. You know that you like to make sourdough bread once a week. And by the time dinner comes around, if you have your sourdough bread, you have your sauerkraut, you have some meat thawed out in the fridge, and you got veggies in the freezer, you just cook up some ground beef, cook up some of those frozen vegetables, and throw it all together in a sandwich or just as a plate, and you have an easy dinner. I think having these systems in place will save you. The systems don't fail us. It's like we fail ourselves all the time. So if you have the system, you can keep doing it because it's not you. It's not the fact that you don't have the desire or the drive or the motivation to do it. It's generally the system or the style of doing things that takes us down. I feel like it's taken me down before. And I think the third thing, I've been thinking about this a lot, is keeping a well-stocked kitchen. I think the times where I order something or get takeout somewhere, ask my husband, what are we going to do for dinner, which is very rare, is when we are running out of food or when we don't have anything stocked. I try to keep a super well-stocked kitchen and pantry. I feel like this goes into the systems part, but this will save you. This will save you if you have, a bunch of grains stocked, you have lentils stocked and bone broth in your freezer or even just bones in your freezer, and you buy a bunch of squash to last through the winter season. You could make a beautiful, delicious lentil squash curry in 30 minutes. It's so easy. Throw it together. You have everything for it. I say it's easy because that is one of the meals I make often, but it may be something different for you and your family. But having that well-stocked pantry is a game changer. It is a game changer. And I am just convinced that if you feel like you are failing at this, if you feel like you have no time to do anything and the thought of cooking from scratch is truly overwhelming you, and then you're looking at your budget at the end of the month and you're like, I cannot keep buying food out like this. It's putting stress on my family, stress on my husband, and you don't know what to do. This is for you. I feel like cooking this way, shopping this way, and living my life this way has made the biggest impact on our family, on our finances, and on my stress levels. I am not stressed nearly ever about dinner, which I know is not common. So if you are, this is for you. This is for you. You can do it. You're not failing. It's generally the systems that we have going on or the way that we're used to doing things. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of a shift, making things a little bit more complicated, a little bit less complicated, simplifying things, having those systems in place instead of rotating out extravagant recipes, shopping by what's on sale, and then cooking from that, it will change your life. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's probably going to take a few months and just, try to do one thing at a time. But it is the biggest blessing. It is the biggest blessing to not be stressed about cooking dinner. And I really don't think that cooking from scratch has to be. I think that we can approach this in a way that brings life to us, even if it's not even if cooking is not your passion. It's my passion, so it might make it easier for me to be looking into stuff and passionate about it. But this system and this way of doing things, I really think can take the stress off of us and the financial burden off of our family as well. So these are just some thoughts that I've been thinking about, and I want to dive into it more. But I think the next couple of videos I'm going to be posting, if this is something that resonated with you, I think you're going to like the next couple of videos I'm putting out. It will have some more tangible, actionable tips, but also just like an insight on how I do this in my family. So anywho, If cooking from scratch is stressful for you or you feel like it's overcomplicated, please shoot me a message. I would love to chat with you about it. You can email me at simplemainkitchen@gmail.com. And I hope that this gives you some ideas to free up that burden for you and bring you more peace and joy in your kitchen and in your home. And I will see you soon.